Okay, we're out on YouTube. Let me get the record. Okay, when you call the roll, Erin's microphone's not working right now, so she may just have to wave at you.
Okay.
She's working on it. Okay, we're recording. We're on YouTube. Welcome to the special meeting of the Town of Rochester Town Board. We'll do a pledge to the flag. I'll turn my computer to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We are getting really good at that with a group. Kate, would you do the roll call, please?
Councilwoman Anowen,
You can just wave, Erin, if your mic's not working. There we go.
Councilman Hagen DePew, Councilman Hewitt,
Here.
Councilman Paddock,
Here.
Supervisor Baden.
Here. Erin, if your mic continues not to work, I'll try to monitor chat. If you just need to say anything, you can always type it into chat. I'm gonna read the statement here real quick. Confirm with the town's council, tonight's meeting has been convened in accordance with the governor's March 13, 2020 executive order 202.1, which suspends certain provisions of the open meetings law to allow municipal board to convene via video conferencing in accordance with the executive order. The public has been provided with the ability to view tonight's meeting via YouTube, and a transcript will be provided at a later date. The town clerk has completed a roll call of the board members, and there's a quorum present for this meeting. I've also confirmed with the town clerk this meeting has been duly noticed. We have fulfilled our legal requirements by posting notice on the town clerk bulletin board and outside door, posting legal notice in the which paper, Kate?
Daily Freeman.
Daily Freeman, thank you. And posting notice on the town's website. So with that being said, let me get us back. Okay. The bulk of our meeting tonight will be to review the IT consultant vendor proposals. How I'm proposing that we do this is each of us scored the 6 proposals that we agreed met the criteria at the last meeting. What I'm going to do is I've created a cheat sheet for each proposal we will enter. I have your scoring sheets. I have not looked at them other than putting them in order so that all the ones are together, all the twos are together. We will enter them into a form I've created that will be up on the screen for everybody to see. We'll calculate first the 5 scores of the 5 questions that we were scoring the criteria. Then I'd like us, so if you have the proposals handy, I'd like us to go through the pricing of the proposals and make sure we all agree on what the pricing is. Some of them are a little difficult to figure out because some of them broke it down very minutely, and it's going to be pretty, we're going to have to work through it to determine what their actual pricing is. Some were just a bulk price. So that's what I'm proposing. First, I'd like to start off with an official resolution that we remove from consideration. And the other thing I ask is until we've selected that we only talk about them by proposal number, not by name. So I'm going to make a motion that we remove proposal 4, 5, 8, 9, 11, and 12 from consideration for failure to supply the non-collusion statement. Do I have a second for that motion?
I'll second.
Okay, any questions or discussion? Kate, if you would do a roll call vote on that?
Councilwoman Anowen,
Aye.
Councilman Hagen Depew, Councilman Hewitt,
Aye.
Councilman Paddock,
Aye.
Supervisor Baden.
Aye. I'd also like to make a second motion that we remove proposal number 7. They did supply the non-collusion, however, they only supplied pricing by the hour with no estimate of number of hours. So it made it virtually impossible for us to compare them to other pricing. So I'd like to make a motion that we remove them for not answering the criteria of the RFP.
I'll second.
Any other questions or discussion? Roll call vote, please, Kate.
Councilwoman Anowen,
Aye.
Councilman Hagen Depew, Councilman Hewitt,
Aye.
Councilman Paddock.
Aye.
Supervisor Baden.
Aye. Okay, so that leaves for consideration proposal numbers 1, 2, 3, 6, and 10. So what I'm going to do is put us up into a screen share. So we have proposal 1 here. I'm going to go through the vendor scores. I've already set up this Excel sheet here, and it will do the tabulations for us if I've done the math, the formulas correctly. The board members are listed by number. You obviously know who your number is. I'm not going to divulge whose number is whose, but you can compare as we go with your sheets of what you gave to me, and just you can double check me and make sure I'm not making a mistake. And if you think I'm making a mistake, please let me know. So I have number 1 is, I apologize, it's going to be a little tedious, but since we're not all in the same room, I think it's the only fair way to do it. So that is from proposal 1, Councilman 1, Councilman 2, you guys are seeing the screen share?
Yeah, Mike, it looks good.
Great, thank you. Look at that, 290s. Councilman number 3.
Mary Lou, do each of these recordings have to be put in the minutes for each vendor or just the winner?
Okay, what I'm going to do is supply you with a copy of each individual board
Okay.
member scoring sheets.
Yeah,
But I'll let you and Mary Lou work how the minutes should be. But for
Okay.
your records, just like you would get you have the proposal, so I'm going to
Right.
give you the scoring sheets as well.
okay,
Yeah, and really, Kate, all you have to do is say that they were reviewed and tabulated, and then when we have a resolution to
okay,
hire a certain firm, if that happens,
Right.
that's all that really needs to go in.
Should she
Okay.
record the score each one receives, just like we
Right.
would their pricing, if they were just a regular bid?
She doesn't need to, but she can.
Okay. Because ultimately, these scores will contribute to a final score, so.
right.
Okay, so proposal 1, the way I've set this up is adding the 5 council member scores together, dividing by 5, coming out with, I've done it to 4 decimal points. If we need to go further, we can. So the average points is 84.8 for the responsive criteria. For, do you want them well, we can't really do the prices until we establish all the prices because we need to know the lowest. So with the board's permission, I'm going to move ahead to proposal 2 and we'll do all the responsive criteria and then we'll review the pricings so we can establish the lowest. So let me just save this file so I don't lose it. Okay. We'll go to proposal 2. This probably would have been a lot easier if it wasn't COVID time, but we'll muddle through how to do this. I appreciate your patience with this.
Your spreadsheets are great, Mike.
I appreciate it. I thought a lot about it. I don't know if it's a success or not, but we'll see. Okay, proposal 2. I thought about preloading these and I wanted everybody to be able to see what they were. So we're operating in complete openness on this.
We're still seeing potential 1
Oh,
proposal.
thank you very much.
Yep.
I wonder why. Let me stop share and start, I guess. I don't know why. I assumed if I changed screens, it would go with it. So thank you, Chris.
No problem. It typically does.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for some reason it didn't.
Mhm.
So you're seeing number 2 now?
Yeah.
Okay. The wonders of Zoom. Okay. Number 2 is a score of 79.4. Okay, number 3. feel like I need the Jeopardy theme song or something while we do this.
Actually, I like Kate being outside. The birds are very soothing. This is really nice.
I was wondering why it was so relaxing.
Okay, proposal number 3 has an average score of 57.
So that means that one, we don't even do the price
Um,
points on.
Yeah, well, I think we said, yeah, we did say anybody that didn't have 70, we wouldn't score. So yeah, I guess that would be correct. I'm just wondering if they were the lowest score though, if it could be enough of a difference that maybe we want to. Anyway, just. I agree with you with that. If we're following the criteria, I would agree that that's true. Sorry, I didn't remember if I saved it. I think I did, but. Okay, the next one is 6. I clicked on the wrong thing here. I don't know how to get out of it. Chris, when I was trying to go full screen, I clicked on YouTube by accident. Do you know how I can get back to full screen from there? I don't want to end the meeting by accident.
No, I'm not sure. I would hit escape and then try again.
Yeah, I tried that. Unfortunately, it didn't work. Allow me to scroll through everybody.
I'll try sharing your screen again. Sometimes when you,
I can't even get to that because I got to be on full screen to do that. Ugh.
Do you have a doc?
Oh, wait, there we go. I got it. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody.
worries.
Too many jumping around screens here. And okay, number 6. Oops, that's the wrong. I'll be very honest. I don't really remember, other than my number, who was who, but 1 and 2 are very similar in their scoring. I just think it's two people thinking alike.
I'm very curious about who everyone is.
It's like that game Clue. You figure it out at the end, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I figured out who I am.
Well, that's the first test, is if you recognize your own numbers.
Yeah, good job, Chris.
Oops. Okay, so number 6 is 84.4. And we have agreed we are skipping number 7. So the last one to score is number 10.
That's not good enough.
And everybody seeing number 10 on the screen? Well, I'm doing this. I just want to say thank you to everybody for all the hard work you put into this. I know it's a whole brand new experience for all of us, and I think we did a really good job of how we did it. Okay, excuse me. So number 10 is 86.2. So those are the 5 proposals that we're going to consider now for pricing. Or what is the board's feeling? Do we want to remove the one that scored under 70 and just score the 4? Or do
Yeah, I
we
guess-
want to at least look at their price and see? I'll be honest, I don't know I don't remember whose prices are whose, so.
Yeah, I think the main thing is like, does it take them out of consideration for the low, our
But their
rank?
price was very, very low, and I don't know if it was or wasn't. They could, their final score could go over above 70, so, I don't remember. I could pull up, I have the criteria here.
I think it depends on how we score the pricing. I think theirs was all inclusive.
Let's go ahead and score their pricing. And my suspicion is with their low score that they will not be the top score. But let's go ahead, and if they are the low pricing, I think we should at least consider it. So I'm going to share again. Number one. We can at least figure out their price, and then we'll figure out the bidder's price of all, and then we'll go back to figure out which is the lowest. So I had a little cheat sheet that I made up of all the pricing. So number one has a proposal price of $24,480 for the year. The hourly rate for additional services, I think we should not count into the pricing because that is after hours, and we have no idea if, as long as we do it the same for all, then I think we're being fair because we don't know if or how many hours after hours we would need service. Does that seem fair to everybody? We asked them for their pricing just to know, but I don't think we should include hours because it's very likely we will not need after hours service unless we have a major emergency.
Before you continue, I just want to interrupt for a minute.
Yep.
About looking at the one that has 57 points.
Okay.
In our request, we specifically say consultants who receive less than 75 responsiveness points will not be considered for price evaluation and
Okay.
selection.
Then
So,
there's our answer.
I
Thank
think
you.
that answers it right there.
So
It wouldn't be fair to
Absolutely.
those
So
who
we will not
scored
consider
higher.
them.
Okay.
They will. So number 6 was that?
3.
3. Number 3 is out then. Okay, so we are doing number 1. So
So
24,480.
So my only question about my only thought about the hourly is, and this one includes their on-site visits within the time frame. That's included in their quote. There was another one, and I don't remember which one it was. If they have to come, they charge us an hourly rate. So I just wonder, how do we compare?
Well, I will say the spec, we requested a flat rate fee for 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. So unless they project a number of hours in that, then we would have to either not score them because or we would have to see if they actually do that. Potentially in this, we may end up rejecting further because they didn't bill it properly.
Okay.
But I wouldn't want to bill the after hours because these people did it the way we said.
Right.
We asked them for their rate after hours, but I don't think we can predict a usage of after hours.
Yeah, totally.
So
But
I think we need to bill this on the costs that we know we will have.
Got it.
The monthly, and this is just my opinion. If anybody else differs, please.
I think we did say that we could compare the after hours pricing with the other ones. So
Okay.
maybe that, I don't know where that would come into consideration.
Yeah. Well, why don't we see where it goes first, and if we have a big difference in pricing, then maybe we need to go back and look at that. But so we have 24,480. The pro server and desktop management, we have up to 25 devices. Currently, we have, I believe it was 20 that we spec'd in the list. So that is $100 a month. So that would be $1,200. And then the backup is $800 a year per 500 gigabyte. I have no idea how many gigabytes we're going to end up being. Does the board, I noticed some of the others were in terabytes, which is 1,000 gigabytes. Do we want to count this as, do we want to just do the 500, or do we want to try to make it an apples comparison? Because the backup is a portion of the pricing that we would need them to do.
I guess they're telling us what they think we should do, and
Okay.
then they're giving us a price. So I feel
Okay.
like we should, I don't know how everyone else feels, but I feel like we should just,
Use the
Look-
800.
yeah.
Yeah, because I told them how many computers we have. I mean, they have no idea of what number of files we have on them. And I'm not enough of a computer person to know what that would actually mean. So, so then if that's the case, so if I come up with the 26,480 for this pricing, is because everything else appears to be included. Is everybody in agreement on that?
Yep.
So it's 24,480 plus 1,200 plus 800. And that is the proposal that is, was paper clipped together and says home, business, emergency services, government under their logo. Just to make sure we're all on the same proposal. Okay, I'm gonna save this and we will move on to the next one and price them. Okay, number 2. This one's going to take a little bit of work because they're the ones who broke it out into many different levels.
My perception on their levels was that most of it was just add-on, optional.
Yeah, and if anybody thinks, let me know what you think on that. So it's their page 12 on the pricing. So first we have $1,500 for the initial assessment and remediation plan, which we can all agree on was part of our proposal, I would think.
Yeah.
Next, they're saying unlimited help desk and remote support, remote computer and server monitoring and protection. That's $45 per desktop per month. I've come out with, there were 18 computers that we made them aware of on the bid sheet. On the RFP, times $45 times 12 months, I come out with $9,720 for that. If somebody wants to double check my math, it's 18 times 45 times 12.
I have the same total.
Yeah. And they quoted that too at the bottom.
Oh, absolutely. There you go. The server, there would be, I'm not sure. Some people have told us that we would need a server in each building, one in the community center and one in here. And some people have said it could be a central server. So should we calculate one server or 2 per month? They don't specify. So
Yeah.
I believe we probably would need a server in each location.
Based on the stated number of workstations and server in the town of Rochester environment.
Yeah.
It almost looks like they're saying singular one, but again, with 2.
Well,
buildings,
we made them aware there were 2 buildings and they are standalone buildings. There's no interconnection between them with fiber or anything in any way. So
Okay.
I think to be fair, we should say 2 servers.
So
So
300.
that would be
so 30%.
$300 times 12 months, and I come out with 3,600. Is that agree with everybody?
Mhm.
The on-site support as needed, $90 an hour. Now there's your question, Aaron, that you had. They're just saying $90 an hour for all on-site support. The other is already giving it to us in during the 8 to 4 as part of our monthly charge. Do we want to estimate a number for the year? Do we want to? I'm open to suggestion. We did say in the RFP that if an hourly rate was given, we would multiply it by the number of hours. I would hate to guess though how many hours on site we're going to have. I don't think I want to multiply it times 35 hours times 52 weeks, which would mean every hour of every day. But to be fair, that is what the other guy is quoting us.
I don't know how you can, we don't have enough information. I guess my first question is the hourly, is that on site, is that exclusive of the setup? Meaning that they would be on site for the setup, but then how much
The
would they
setup
actually
and the
have to be-
initial, yeah, but we're asking for, in our proposal, we asked for a person to be available to come on site if needed, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4.
Mhm.
So that is 8 hours times 5 days. That's 40 hours a week potentially.
Well, let
But
me
we
ask
could
you,
ask
let me ask you a question, Mike. In our current situation over the course of the last 2 or 3 years, how many hours a year have we needed somebody on site?
It's really hard to say, but we fix a lot of things internally in-house and with trial and error.
Right.
We figure it out. I hate
I
to
want-
ignore. Go ahead.
We do have another proposal that addresses this by averaging 4 to 5 hours.
Okay,
So I wonder if we think of it in that way, because
4 to 5
That's-
hours per what, Aaron? I'm
per
sorry.
week. Yeah,
Okay.
the number 6 is estimating 4 to 5 hours per week.
So that
They-
would be a range of 208 to 260 per year.
Right. But then, and then that one also gives us a price if we drop that down to 4 to 5 hours per month. So I don't know.
I think we have to be, somewhat fair to the first person who did the RFP the way we asked,
Yeah,
and this one didn't really. I don't want to reward them, but I don't also want to unfairly penalize. Could we agree on, what do we say, 4 would be 208, between 208 and 260? Could we agree on a number of, how about 220 hours a year? I mean, it's an estimate, but I think we have
Yeah.
to put something in there to calculate that.
okay.
So that would be 220 times 90. Anybody have a calculator handy to do the math?
Sure. That's 19,800.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
gonna-
I gotta be honest. I don't know what computer would require 4 hours a week of an
Yeah.
on-site person to fix it.
Yeah.
Unless there was a disaster.
And I think we are gonna blow their proposal out of the water then. I mean, that'd be an hour every day.
of somebody physically there.
Yeah.
I'm no computer expert, but we work with a company and have servers, and I've had somebody in my office once in the last 3 years for 8 hours. So
Well-
that's probably too low, but I think 220 hours, that's almost like having a part-time employee.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, they seem to be, so I think also, again, it's like, how do we think about this? What they're saying is they don't really think that we're going to need that much on-site support, but if
That's
we
needed.
need it, they're available to come.
Right.
And if we do need it, then they charge us $90 an hour. So
Do we want to skip it for now and see where we go? Or do we want to put in, say, a 5 hours a month, 60 hours, I got a thing, 60 hours a year.
that would be 5,400.
Yeah. And you
Yeah, I
would
think-
think it wouldn't be evenly distributed most in circumstances, but if somebody did have to come and do a half a week's worth of work, for a major repair or upgrade or revamp, it's there.
Yeah, and remember, this is 18 computers too. It's not just one computer, so it could be one computer breaks today. And I just want to, and I apologize for being a little vague about it, but I just want to be fair to everybody the way we're doing this. So we'll say 60 hours, and we'll use this per year, and we'll use that same calculation in the other one that didn't provide unlimited. Oh, here's B. Let me just get B in and unmuted.
Kate, are you in an aviary? So it sounds like you have a lot of birds in the house. It's so nice.
It's funny, I didn't even pick up on it till you mentioned it before, and now that's all I hear.
Now I can't tell if that was the crickets that we heard at your house or I have a cricket in my dining room. It's one or the other.
Well, I actually have a whole bunch
There you
of
go.
my daughter has a chameleon.
How are you, B?
Oh, wow.
I'm a little haggard, but well.
Okay, good to hear.
Thank you.
Yep. So B, we went through the first part for everybody, and now we're working our way through the pricing. We did the
Okay.
first proposal. We're talking now on the pricing on number 2. We're referring to everything by proposal number for the moment, and this is on page 12 of their proposal. We're working, because this is the one that broke out their pricing, so we're working step by step to come up with a total price.
Okay.
What we have agreed on so far for this one is $1,500 for the initial setup. The $45 per desktop per month, we calculated at $9,720, which is what they state down at the bottom. The $150, I think we're hearing your TV in the background, maybe, I don't know.
Hold on.
Yeah. The server, we did 2 servers, one for the community center and one for town hall. So that would be $300 per month. So for a total of $3,600. And then the $90 an hour for support, we just kind of went back and forth on that. We're going to use, because the first one proposed hourly support during the daytime included in their price, and this one does not. We agreed on 5 hours per month on-site support, just as a general number that we're going to utilize throughout. So we priced that at 60 hours a year times $90 per hour at $5,400. The on-site backup support, recommended allocating an amount of $2,000 to $3,000, depending on how many computers to be backed up. We want them all to be backed up. So I think I'm going to go through the high amount, the 3,000. Does that sound okay to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. The remote backup, that's $8 per terabyte per month. I think we can just do $8. I don't think we're going to near a terabyte of data, but who knows? The mailbox per month, there are 50 mailboxes times $1.50 per mailbox. 50 was the answer we gave in the ask the question and answer section. So that would be
75 by 12, 900.
no, it wouldn't be 70. Yeah, it would be 75 by 12. 900 you have, Adam?
Yeah.
Then we have $7 per mailbox per month. That would be that's for the email hosting and Active Sync. And that would be 4,200. Is that correct?
That's what I got too.
Okay. Next, they have $8 per user per month, protection of sensitive information. I guess we have to plan on every email user, which would be $400 per month times 12 is 4,800.
Yep.
It's really hard the way they broke this down, but all these things we asked for. The 1,200 one-time charge is easy to do. That's a single pricing. The encrypted cybersecurity, 65 a month. That would be 780 a year. Is that correct? 65 times 12.
780.
The flat fee for the setup of the server, I guess we would have to do 1,000 for 2 servers. The new desktop flat fee for the setup. I don't know how many new computers we're gonna have or not have, because this is only doing a service of being the consultant. I mean, we would have to go out still and purchase new equipment, and I don't know how much we'll be buying and when we'll be buying it.
Well, Mike, if how many desktops will we eventually need? Because again, we'll have to do it for all of them. Should we
Right.
start?
Well, there's 18 right now. I believe 4 to 5 of them are probably still going to be, they're new enough that they will not need to be replaced. I think we probably will be replacing, how about we figure 12 and say 6 will probably be okay? Because I know of at least 5 and maybe 6. We upgraded Shirley's computer to Windows 10, and as long as the computer is functioning okay, it's having Windows 10 on it, it probably is okay. So if we say 12 times 150, which would be 1,800.
Yep.
The file sharing, $5 per user per month up to 10 gigabyte, $8 per user per month up to 100 gigabyte. I have no idea how to estimate this.
We could use
Unless we just use the low, we can either use the low number or the high number times 18 times 12.
Do you want to take an average of the two, figuring some people are going to use more
Well,
and some people are going to use less?
yeah, I guess, you know what, that might be, I mean, 10 to 100 is my suspicion is most people on their computers will be in the higher range, I would think, but I don't know.
But well, why don't we estimate the higher range then, if you think that that would.
I think that's probably the safer bet, since they, in a way, they kind of really didn't help themselves the way they did this, because they made it pretty restrictive. I think they thought they were doing us a favor by breaking it down, but it's really hard to estimate.
Yeah.
So if we say 8 times 18 times 12, I come out with 1,728.
1728, I got you.
Okay. If somebody has a calculator and wants to add these numbers, then 1,500 plus 9,720 plus 3,600 plus 5,400 plus 3,000 plus 8 plus 900 plus 4,200 plus 4,800 plus 1,200 plus 780 plus 1,000 plus 1,800 plus 1,728.
39,636.
I got the same.
39,636. Okay. Let me save this one.
Mike, did we do that based? I'm sorry, the 10 gigabyte or the 100 gigabyte?
We went to the 100 gigabyte B because I think that that's probably more realistic.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
we may have a few people, like, I'll be very honest, I don't think the transfer station is going to have 100 gigabyte, but I think almost every other computer in town probably will. And if we don't, we don't. But, you know, if they, it would be better if they just gave us a flat rate pricing.
Right,
We have to sort of use our discretion on it.
okay, no problem.
Okay, so number 3, we, B, I don't know if you got kicked out. They were under 75, so we are removing them from consideration based on our RFP. So number
That's
3
okay.
no longer being considered.
That's okay, because they were mostly medical anyway.
Yeah,
Hello.
okay, we're gonna go to now to number 6. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Where am I?
Stress on the frontline workers.
This one has their pricing. I will say this one had the most effective. They copied and pasted our proposal, and in red next to our proposal, everything is just about everything is included with the support plan.
Yeah.
Um,
I liked that they did that. It was,
Yeah. Now, they
They
do
all-
have their Exhibit A, which is their silver and their gold. They do say on the proposed fees page, which is page 13, that they've priced it on gold based on the wording of our RFP, and I think we have to go with that. But they say most towns that they deal with are in the silver plan, but I think we have to consider based on what we asked for, which would be the gold plan.
so the other thing that they did that I think what happened is they misunderstood a little bit what we were asking for. And they are quoting us for 4 to 5 hours of on-site weekly visits per month. And they say that you could reduce the monthly cost by 20% if we don't require that. And I think they actually just misunderstood that. They thought we were asking for that. So I don't know how we want to deal with that, but they seem to be saying is if we don't want that guaranteed every week, then
Well, though, to be fair, we just added 5 hours a month for the other company that didn't bid us, so.
I think what they're quoting us for is 4 to 5 hours per week. And they're saying if we drop that to 4 to 5 hours per month, we would save 20%.
But where, see, Aaron, I can't figure out where we would take that out of.
The monthly investment.
Where is that on page 13? Where is that broken out?
It's just the monthly total, 3,397.
Oh, it would reduce
I-
by 20%.
We would.
4 to
we would
5
just
hours
reduce-
per month.
Yeah.
Okay, is everybody comfortable with doing that? Because I think Aaron's point is valid.
It's
So we would
very
do-
valid, but I'm wondering, are they coming from Rochester or do they have a satellite down this way?
No, they're probably coming from there, but they also said that they can respond in 4 hours, so. We just
Yeah.
asked that they be able to respond. We didn't put a restriction on where they are. I mean,
True.
that you could, I think all of us should have, and I know I did, considered that in my scoring up top. But in the pricing, I
I
don't
did.
think it matters. It's what they're quoting
did.
us, so.
Okay,
That's
So
how
if
I
we-
did it too.
Yeah, so if we take 3397 and multiply it by 80%, what is that number?
And Emma, who will join them? Will it be Francois, Gilbert, or Lindsay?
271760.
Okay, and then multiply that by 12?
32,611.20.
Medical.
Say it again, Adam?
$32,611.20.
Official state.
Okay, and then the onboarding setup fee is a one-time charge, so we are adding the 3397 to that, I believe. Does everybody agree on that?
Yes.
Okay, you want to do that, Adam, and tell me what you get?
That price again, Mike? I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, 32,000, the 32,611.20.
Mhm.
If you multiply or add to that 3397,
3397, $36,008.20.
36,820. Okay. So we will make that be their score. Okay, let me save that. And then the last one is number 12.
Mike?
which is- Yes,
Mike, you put, I'm sorry. It's 36,008.20, not 36,820. Just wanted to make sure
no,
that.
I have 36.
No, no, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I heard 36,820 and I thought
Oh,
820.
oh, yeah, 36,008.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yep. Got it. Thank you for keeping us honest. That is what Adam said, but it's not what he meant.
Right, no. And then I looked and I had it on my calculator exactly. Yeah, I have the same thing. When I looked over, I said, oh yeah, $8.
Okay, and now going to number 10. And this one is going to be easy because they were very one-stop shopping scoring.
Yeah.
I think there's three additions in it.
Kate
Their
trained her
packaging is
birds.
hard to open though with this string. Okay, their pricing is on page, well, they're not numbered, but it's on the page
It's
labeled
on the
pricing.
last page.
It's about the middle of the proposal and it's big letters, pricing. So they have a charge of $3,897.93 per month, which they total out to $46,775.16. Does everybody agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now they do say that they offer an annual prepayment. If we prepay for the year, they will decrease that by 5%. That's easy for us to do. So I think it's valid that we apply that percentage to it. Does everybody agree to that?
Yeah.
We
Yep.
don't have to pay per month. We ask for a yearly price, not a monthly price. So, so if somebody would multiply this 46,775.16 and 16 cents by 95 and tell me that number.
Mike, am I wrong? Is there a $3,000 one-time charge?
It's a one-time charge, but I don't think there's a 5% off the prepayment. I mean, the
They said
one-time
yes.
charge.
They said it is.
47,000. Oh, sorry.
They said it does apply.
It does apply.
So
Yeah.
it's
No discount on all
49,000.
charges. Okay, well, let's figure them separately anyway. We can do the 95% of both, each one separately.
Okay,
So it's 47,286 and 39 cents.
Oh, you did the whole thing?
That was the 49,000 by the 5%.
You did the 49,775.16
Yep,
by 95%,
yep.
and you come out with 47,286.
39.
Okay,
Just quick, safe, easy, and free. If you have COVID-19 symptoms or know someone who tested positive this get
see, I'm gonna just mute you real quick again here. Okay, so let me go look back and see what the low score is. So we have 26,480, which I believe is the low score, is it not? That's proposal 1.
Mhm.
Proposal 2 is 39,636. Proposal 3, we skipped. Proposal 6 is 36,008.20. And proposal 10 is 47,286.39. So proposal 1 is the low score. So
The
that's
lowest price.
the lowest price. Yep, sorry. That's 26,480. So they get 70 price points, and that added to the average points above comes out to 154.8. So number 1 is 154.8. I'm just going to jot this down as we go through it. Sorry, too much paperwork here on my desk. Okay, then going, so 26,480, correct, is the, are you guys seeing the screen share still?
We are still on this number 10 is
Okay.
what we see.
Okay, let me reshare screen 1 then so you see it. So it's 26,480. So they are awarded 70 price points, the maximum. Their average points was 84.8 for a total of 154.8. Does everybody agree to that? We'll save that one. Okay, now we're gonna stop that and we're gonna move to number 2. What was the price? I apologize. 24,
It was, the low was
26,480. Yep. You're still seeing number 2, correct?
Yes.
On the screen? Okay. So their price points are 46.7656. Their average points was 79.4 for for a scoring of 126.1656. We have thrown out 3. And the next one, let me save this. The next one is number 6, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the lowest price again was 26,480, correct, Mary Lou?
Yes.
Oops, it'd help if I put it in the right slot. Okay, this is number 6. They were 84.4. Their price points are 51.4772 for a total of 135.8772. And then going to number 10, 26,480. Their price points are 39.1994. Their average points 86.2 for a total of 125.3994. So we have a pretty clear-cut winner. Number 1 is 154.80. The number 6 would be the next in line at 135.8772. So, anybody have any questions or discussion on the process? And if not, if somebody would like to make a resolution, we can insert the company name in the resolution when we make it, and to authorize the supervisor to initiate a contract between the town of Rochester and company name is Fish Solutions.
I'll make the motion.
For a 1-year, a 2-year IT contract.
I'll
Mary Lou,
second.
does that have to be subject to, I would like you to review the contract, obviously, and help draw it up. How do we
think
word
that's a
that in the
good idea.
resolution?
They need a workers' comp certificate.
Agreed. We didn't,
Yeah,
they
they
didn't
need
have
all
to
the
give it
things-
to us in the proposal, B. We just have to
Right.
ask them for it when we,
Right.
yeah.
You could do a resolution to,
To offer
Enter-
contract?
yeah, it can be to
Authorize the
offer a contract, subject to attorney's approval.
For a 2-year service as town IT consultant, and let's put the name in there. It's Fish Solutions, FISCH, and their address is 320 Robinson Avenue, Suite 225, Newburgh, New York 12550.
Yeah, so they're not too far away. That's not too bad.
Nope. And they also have another office in Middletown. So Chris, now that we sort of re-amended the motion, will you still make that?
Yep, I
Okay.
make the motion.
Okay, you have the wording? Thank
Yes.
you.
Add the wording in there somewhere to say in accordance with their proposal.
I'm good with that.
Okay. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion?
When in the contract, it'll like verify all the things that we are asking for and make sure that the price they're giving us covers all that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay,
We
great.
basically will go into a bit of a negotiation now where we will write the contract for the things we were asking for, and they will either tell us that that price is valid or not. And if they basically say, no, we're not doing it for that price, then we can either offer it to our second vendor or we can start the process over again.
Okay, cool. With this one, I'm a little concerned that it doesn't cover everything, but because it was very general.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Okay. So I have a motion and a second. Kate, will you do a roll call vote?
Councilman Allen,
Aye.
Councilman Hagen DePew,
Aye.
Councilman Hewitt,
Aye.
Councilman Paddock,
Aye.
Supervisor Baden.
Aye. And Kate, I'll get everything together and scan you copies of everything so you have it all for the record.
Okay.
Thank you. And thank you to the board. Next, laborer position. We had a resignation, very somewhat sudden. Jeff Subay, who has worked with us now for a couple years at the transfer station and in buildings and grounds, had the opportunity for a much better job but had to act quickly. So he gave his notice last week, and his last day of work was Saturday. That leaves us with 3 people right now for buildings and grounds transfer station. I just wanted to get a little feedback from the board on where you think. I have not really had much conversation with Harry, and maybe Aaron, if you could have some further conversation with Harry before our workshop meeting. See, we have operated with 3 people there before. When Adam's brother, who used to work there before Adam was on the board, left, we stayed with only 3 people for quite some time, but then again, it was over the winter. And we rehired a 4th person in the late spring. So we are kind of in the busy season right now at the transfer station. But I just wanted to get the board's feel of, we think we should just leave it unfilled for the moment, or if you want to start advertising. It is a very low paying job. It's only 32 hours a week.
This New York Times crossword.
So,
Being it's summer, Mike, I'd like to see it filled.
well, why don't we let Aaron talk to Harry, and we'll talk about it at the workshop meeting? Is that
Yeah,
2 weeks
that's
from now?
good.
And then we can
That's cool.
decide whether to advertise it or not, and we could always move pretty quickly. I do have the list of names too that submitted applications the last time when we hired Jeff, but admittedly that was almost 2 years ago. So that was in the spring or late spring of 18. So it was over 2 years
Yeah.
ago now. Okay. Next, with great news, and Adam, I'm going to ask you to make this resolution since it's your liaison. You want to read it or you want me to?
You're more than welcome to read it.
Okay. Town Board, upon receipt of the certification of eligibles from the Ulster County Personnel Department for the competitive position of Recreation Director, authorizes the supervisor to extend offer of unemployment to Ashley Sweeney for the full-time position of Recreation Director, effective 7/16/2020, with salary as adopted with the 2020 wage and salary schedule.
And I'm happy to make the motion to accept Ashley Sweeney.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
They're gonna fight.
Unanimous second.
Unanimous second.
Yeah. I just want to say I did send you the scores. Apparently only 2 people who took the test. I think there were 5 who took the test, Ashley said, scored high enough to be even on the list. And was very, very happy to see that Ashley was number 1 on the list. I was not very surprised to see that she was number 1 on the list, contrary to all her worrying about the test. And happy we have her. So Kate, roll call vote.
Can I say something quick?
Yes, please.
Ashley has been an employee for the town for 20 years. I am so incredibly proud of her, not only as a coworker, but as a friend. And she's worked her way up to one of the most important positions in this town. And this has been a long 3 years coming for her. So with that, I know she's home watching. I love you. I'm so proud of you. And this is just the best point we've made all year.
Kate, thank you.
With
I hope
that-
you get- None of us could have said it better. Thank you very much.
Hey,
Really
you're making me
appreciate
cry.
that.
Councilwoman Allen,
Aye.
Councilman Hagen DePew,
Aye.
Councilman Hewitt,
Aye.
Councilman Paddock,
Aye.
and Supervisor Baden.
Aye. Thank you. And Ashley, I know you're watching. Congratulations.
Congratulations,
Well
Ashley.
deserved. And
Never a doubt.
as somebody said, and I don't know who, now you don't have to think about that test ever again. Next, I put this on the agenda more for discussion, but we continue to have issues on towpath. I'm averaging probably at least 5 or 6 phone calls a week, if not more. A lot of trips there by myself, by Jeff, by Jerry. The garbage is piling up there. Jerry is actually considering sending a violation notice to the owner of the property, even though they don't live in the town, because nobody is policing it. I don't want us to get in the habit of starting to clean it up, because then it becomes expected. We can't really put a garbage can there, because then it becomes a receptacle for everybody else's garbage in town. I had asked Jeff to look into the idea of guardrail in sections to eliminate some of the parking down there. He came back and said, Mike, you're going to need at least 600 or 700 feet of guardrail, if not more, and the price is going to be close to $10,000. So with that being said, and I supplied a map for you, and I'm going to go ahead and make the motion for discussion purposes. So Town Board sets a public hearing date for local law 4 of 2020, amending chapter 132, vehicle and traffic of the code of the town of Rochester, to be held at 6:30 PM on August 6, 2020 at the Harold Lipton Community Center, 15 Tobacco Road, Eckford, New York, or via teleconference in accordance with the governor's executive order 202.1, and request the town clerk post and advertise legal notice of such public hearing. Do I have a second for discussion?
I'll second for discussion.
So if you look at the map, what I've done is basically the properties, the far side of the creek, that already is the no parking that is already in our town code that we did 2 years ago. Also, the little section, I did not make red on this map. The little section where the fire district is also just past where the little blue circle is, which is where depot is. What I'm proposing is that we make the red area on the creek side no parking, which is all the properties surrounding the depot owner's property. We would leave the depot owner's property accessible for parking for 2 reasons. One is there is enough space along there to pull totally off the road. People do seem to follow that rule and get off the road all the way there. When you get a little bit either direction, it's when you get narrower and narrower, and that's where cars are half off and half on, or all the way on the road. And also the neighbor to the left side of Depot, I'm not sure if that's north, south, east, west with the map, but they're the ones that have been reaching out to us a lot, because they have no trespassing signs, and they have had many incidents of people being downright nasty to them when they ask them to not park there, to not walk through their property, to not dump garbage on their property. So since we can't do the guardrail, Jeff came back and said, it's going to be cheaper and more effective to do it no parking. So we tried, 2018, we were going to make the whole area, both sides of the road, no parking. And we gave in and said, we'll do one side and not the other, and we need your help. And for the first year, it was great. People really worked well with us. Last year it got a little worse. This year, the other day, Jeff, on a weekday, Jeff and I counted 25 cars there, parked all different directions, and there wasn't a single person social distancing. I mean, you couldn't have gotten another person, I don't think, in Depot.
Mike, the first year we had the constables patrolling.
Well, we did last year too, but
only periodically did they patrol, and there's been nothing going on this year. Maybe it's time for some ticketing of the people that want to park there.
But I think, if we just make it the no parking, and what I would like to further ask Mary Lou, and because it's not as easy to do, is to explore the parking violation in our town code to be able to ticket vehicles, which other
Exactly.
towns have. I have explored a little bit. It's not something we can do quickly. We can do the no parking quickly. We can do the other part probably by September. It's not going to help us this season, but at least the no parking gives us the opportunity to say, you can't park there at all.
Right, because I had asked about the violating the cars. And
Right, but they're
I
two
had
different
asked that back.
laws we would have to do, and we'd
Right.
have to figure out how we can do that. I didn't
I can
want
look
to
into that.
hold this off while we figured that out, because by the time we did that, swimming season be done. I admit it's not what I want to do, but people don't seem to be able to handle the I hate to put it this way, but the responsibility of swimming there. We can't ban them because it's private property. We have no ability to stop people from going on the private property unless the owners push it.
how many spaces are we taking away with this time?
Well, I
with
don't
no
think of
parking?
as how many spaces we're taking away, but what this is going to allow is probably about 15 cars, and that'll be it.
That'll be it, except when they're sitting in the middle of the road, because they really don't care.
Well, but then if it's no parking zone, we can, if they're sitting, whether they're in the middle of the road or not, if it's no parking at all, we can ticket them.
Okay, so then what you're saying is you are gonna have the constables going down
I
there.
don't know the answer to that, B, but that has nothing to do with the law. That's enforcement of the law that we're talking about proposing.
I
The sheriff can, The
understand.
state police can. If we start this parking division, that will work. Potentially, if we start the parking division, I believe Jerry Davis could issue tickets. I don't know that for a fact. I want to explore all the avenues, but this isn't about the constables. This is about making it a no parking zone.
I understand that, but by the same token, you have something available to use there.
Understood.
And I do not think that, I may be wrong, but you may want to check into this as well, that the state police will act on town laws. I'm not sure that they will.
They will act on no parking laws. Yes, they
Yeah,
will.
they will.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I can't say if we call them, they're gonna run out and do
Right.
that, because who
But
knows what
they
else
have
is
the
going on.
ability and the
But
legal authority to.
absolutely, they
And
can
so
do
does the
that, and
sheriff.
I've seen them do it other
I think,
places.
B, that, and I'm not trying to avoid it, but I don't think it's a discussion or a decision we need to make right now. By making it no parking, it gives us the ability to enforce it in many ways.
It's something we can act on quickly, and it's something that's enforceable depending on how we want to enforce it. But right now, we have a public safety issue that we should resolve tonight.
Right. And I will say, most days, even on the hottest days, people are following the rule about not parking on the far side. They are following, they understand that rule. What they don't understand is don't park on the road. As soon as it fills up, they just say, okay, I'm just one more car. But by the time you get 5, 6, 7, 8 more cars, they're further out on the road. And now we have a 1-lane road.
Well, and what we're voting on tonight is
Schedule
a public hearing.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
not voting to make the rule tonight. And
So we'll hear
I'm
from.
sure we're going to have a
public.
big turnout of people if we can have it in public. We don't know yet. So, Mary Lou, the way I worded the resolution about the either or, does that cover us for the moment? For the location?
I'm just reading through it.
Yeah.
Can you just add one little thing in there?
Absolutely.
So it says via teleconference in accordance with the governor's executive order 202.1, if same is further extended,
Okay.
because right now August 5th is the date.
Okay. Okay. So, and then before you post a legal notice in the paper, Kate, which we would have to put in probably on the 30th newspaper of the Journal, we'll have a better idea of which wording it will be.
Maybe. He has been extending them on the very last day. The last one went to July 6th, and July 6th that night,
Right. But
he
the
issued something
extension-
till the 5th.
Just correct me if I'm wrong, Mary Lou. The extension just means we have the ability to do it by video conference.
That's true. We don't have to, but
can
if you're gonna
still-
have potentially a lot of people,
Right, and
You're still gonna
we would
need
have to limit it at 50 and we have to social distance.
right,
And everybody has to wear a mask.
right. And you have to be able to allow everybody in.
Mike, would you want to change the date of the meeting?
No, because we don't know what's gonna happen, you know. We always could schedule it now too and postpone it later. You know, we could. We could postpone it at our workshop meeting if we have to. Then all it's doing is costing us the cost of advertising it in the paper.
We could also do what you did for the planning board.
Right. Well, that's gonna be another question that I didn't put on the agenda that I want to ask you guys about the workshop meeting, but, okay. Kate, you have the additional language from Mary Lou. Who made, did I make the resolution? And
You made it and then B
I
second.
second, I
Are
second.
you okay, B, with Mary Lou's addition?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So Kate, if you do a roll call vote for the public hearing.
Councilman
Aye.
Councilman Hagen DePew,
Aye.
Councilman Hewitt,
Aye.
Councilman Paddock.
Aye.
Supervisor Baden.
Aye. And I'd ask, you know, the people that you know that utilize it, let them know because it's not working. It's really a problem. And I think a lot of people using it are not from our town. There's an awful lot of faces there that I don't know. Not that I know everybody in town, but there's an
People
awful
from-
lot of people. And
People
there's
from our town, people from our town don't litter our creeks. That's
There's
very.
an awful lot of out-of-state plates too. So, last thing is our workshop meeting on the 30th. We have done the planning board on Monday night and the zoning board of appeals tomorrow night. The board is meeting together at the community center with social distancing, everybody wearing a mask. The public is being invited in by Zoom and YouTube. We did it Monday for the planning board. It worked out very well. I had a large screen TV that projected my computer onto so the board could see the other people. And then we set up a second computer at a distance that became the broadcasting computer, and it got everybody in the picture. And other than the volume level of the public members, which I'm working on solving.
Yeah, that was tough.
Adam, if you have a set of computer speakers, or if anybody has a set of computer speakers, I can plug into my laptop to increase the volume. That will solve the problem. But my question is, because we have to advertise the meeting appropriately, does the board want to consider having it at us all meeting at the community center? If anybody is uncomfortable with that, they can Zoom in. I just wanted to get feedback on what you thought, or we could continue doing what we're doing. In our meetings, it's not as bad as the planning board because they're looking at maps.
I would like to do it that way in person with the public
With the board?
zooming in.
Okay. Is
Me too.
anybody opposed to that idea? We will make sure all of us, it'll just be obviously the 7 of us in the room. We have 4 tables set up there already with 1 seat at the either end of an 8-foot table, and the tables are 6 feet apart. And it seems to be working pretty well. So,
Mike, I can do that. I probably have the worst immune system of anyone, and I'm willing to do that.
okay.
I'm
It
willing
just
to
kind of
try
starts to
that.
get us back together a little bit.
Yeah.
And we can go meeting by meeting as to what we're going to do right now. I actually, though, if the board's okay, I'm going to go, let's go ahead too, and then plan that for the August regular meeting, because that advertisement would have to come out before we do the workshop meeting. So is the board okay if we do those next 2 meetings that way? And then we'll see where the governor's executive order goes from that point
Yep,
on.
I think that for notice, you still notice it as a Zoom meeting. You guys can watch your Zoom meeting anywhere you want.
Oh, we don't have
Participate
to
in it.
notice that the board is at the meeting at the community center?
I mean, you can, but you don't have to. You're doing it
okay.
by Zoom still.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we
The,
had
the
to notice.
notice is really to get the public so that they know how to attend.
Okay, okay, because I remember
And-
the legislature, when they started having their members meet remotely, had to advertise that location where their member was. I guess if we were doing that, we'd have to advertise all our homes right now too.
Right.
Yeah, that's what's been waived.
Yeah, true.
Right.
That's
so it-
actually what's been waived.
Okay. I don't think we
Okay.
need we don't need a resolution for that, do we, Mary Lou?
No.
Okay.
Can, before you adjourn, because, we haven't spent enough time together, I do have some attorney stuff I want to talk to you about, and I'd like to have an attorney's meeting, but obviously I don't want to give you some legal advice over a Zoom meeting, in a public meeting, but are you guys available for another 15 minutes if Mike emails us very quickly a new Zoom meeting?
What I would do is close this out, and this meeting would be adjourned, and then I would
And then you'd
quickly
meet
send
with
you
your
an
attorney.
email with a new invite for a new meeting with just the 5 board members and Mary Lou.
Right, so
an
it's not an
attorney meeting.
executive session, it's a meeting with your attorney.
When would that be?
Right.
In 3 minutes.
Right after this meeting.
Okay, I started work at 4:30 today and I'm still in Kingston, so I'm kind of.
Okay. I don't think it'll be very long. It's more to just fill you in on some legal matters that Mary Lou and I are dealing with that really can't wait 2 more weeks. So,
Okay.
15 minutes probably.
Sure.
Get me the
Okay.
address, Mike. That's the only way I can
Yep,
get in.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I will send you a link to your town email address, and if anybody doesn't get it quickly, let me know and I'll text it to you. So, okay.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right. Okay.
Good
Thank you,
night.
everybody.
Bye,
Kate,
Kate.
thank you
Bye,
very
Kate.
much.
Thanks, Kate.